Gamers of Reddit, what are the strangest things you've heard over an open mic? Was playing Dawn of War on TeamSpeak and this guy got in a loud, heated argument accusing his wife of having an affair because she walked in the door at like midnight. We were going to kick him from the channel, but it got really juicy. Then it got scary. Then it got sad. I think he was playing to distract himself. Some friends and I were playing Call of Duty the day Bernie Mac died. We were talking about it and a black guy on our team thought we were making it up. When we finally convinced him, he was quiet for a few seconds, then, in a very distraught tone, said, "Man, I got to call my mama," and left the game. Several years ago I was doing a 40-person raid in WoW. Many people in the guild were from here. At the time I lived in Oakland. We hear one guy around Napa call out, "Whoa." Then a few seconds later I feel a pretty substantial earthquake and announce it over vent. A few seconds a couple people around San Jose chime in, they're surprised too. It was pretty cool to hear how the quake ripples south in real time. I had something similar in World of Tanks, with a couple guys who were from loose angles like me. We both felt an earthquake at the same time on TeamSpeak. Was pretty funny. There was a guy who got on the microphone while his friend was playing and told us, "Okay, time to get some culture, you illiterate shits," and then proceeded to start reading a brother's Karamazov out loud. Older lady told me I had a sexy voice and wanted me to recite the alphabet slowly. I was on a co-op mission on a WW2 flight sim. There was around 16 of us playing and one guy was pretty wasted. We were cruising along on the way to the target area when suddenly we started hearing snoring, loud snoring. Some guys started yelling "wake up," but to no avail, and shortly after we hear a loud crashing and rattling over combs, followed by a "oh fuck, son of a bitch, I'm fucking bleeding." Guy passed out and smashed his head on the floor. Couldn't finish the mission cause we all were laughing so hard. I'm picturing his plane slowly losing altitude, slowly inverting as he began snoring. He had it trimmed out pretty good actually. He was drifting away, but wasn't losing much altitude. Not really strange as in creepy, but I was playing Oxgo match when a kid on my team yelled "ha, get fucked" after getting a kill. Then our entire team hears him screaming, crying, and begging for forgiveness from his mother beating him for cussing that loud. My raid group was pretty diverse. 2 guys from the Bronx, myself and another from the UK, and a few from Norway, Finland and one from Ukraine. We were pretty new to the game and hadn't cleared the final boss of a very tough raid yet, but we were coming close. One of the Bronx guys died straight away but proceeded to do a live freestyle rap about what each person was doing in the raid in lieu of the commentary. Shit was amazing. Wish we had recording software back then. Second was the Ukraine guy. Just signs onto TS one day and says war has broken out, I won't be on for the raid, laughs, signs out and repeats the same message in game to the guildies who went on TS. Kinda worried for a few weeks, but he eventually managed to contact one of us via our forum to say all was well and he'd moved to a new safer city with family while things died down. Can't wait for him to get back. His DPS was straight up demonic. My WoW raid leader's wife masturbating and having a screaming orgasm while we were raiding Black Temple. He took his headset off and queued it up just as she got off next to him. It was a weird guild. Edit. Oh, and in Wrath, in the same guild, we were working on 3 Drakes Artarian when one of our midges yelled, "Mom on fire." Mid-pull. Turned out she really did catch on fire while cooking. He had to take her to the emergency room. Got a similar one. One of our tanks at the start of Kata says "B.A.B, I can smell burning." Comes back shortly after with "Yeah, someone set fire to my front door." We all called bullshit, but he posted pictures of his burnt front door on the guild forums. A few years ago, I was in a Rift guild with the strangest California desert hicks. This couple lived in the hills outside San Diego on some big piece of property with their kids and the guy's parents. They were actually decent enough of players. He was an especially solid tank, But damn if they didn't interrupt raid for the craziest of reasons. One week it was kid with a broken arm, the next, the in-laws' roof was on fire. The frequency and kind of incident were always enough to make the rest of us wildly speculate about what the hell kind of living situation these people had. The best time they interrupted raid. Guys, we gotta take 20, the kangaroo is loose again. Playing Call of Duty a few years back, heard a woman having a really vicious rant towards her husband who was in our team. Dick size was mentioned, mothers were berated and infidelity was confessed. The guy just played on. This sadly most likely true. I know another guy who was in a seriously broken long-term relationship. He played WoW just to cut out reality. My parents got caught up in the aftermath of their relationship. They were namely help family. You see, there was a kid in this mess. After the divorce, the woman managed to manipulate everything to make him the bad guy. She got custody of the child, was a shit mother. Got help. My parents was the help. After 2 years he retried the case. She lost totally and the child now lives with the dad. He's an awesome dad. Happy ending. Was playing League while talking to some guys over TeamSpeak. Dude says he'll be right back, but leaves his mic on. Out of nowhere, you hear him and his dad getting into a massive fight. When the fight was nearly over, we heard the dad screaming, "Why does your room smell like shit?" And the kid replied, "'Cause I shit in IT." Dude hasn't been back on that TS since. My brother plays League, used TeamSpeak, and would get into fights with our dad over his room stench. I think that was my brother, man. Edit. Why does this have so many upvotes? Jesus. I will eat you and shit you out, so I may fertilize my garden with your soul. That is amazing. I'm stealing this. My GF used to play WoW a lot and was playing with her guild, and during a break she started playing with her dog and baby talking to it. She accidentally hadn't muted her mic, so her whole guild was listening, and they kept quiet and recorded it. The audio track was on the guild website for a while. Not too strange, but a guy I raid with has voice activation instead of push to talk. So occasionally we'll hear him talking to his wife or daughter. Some examples. Where's the remote? I don't know. Love you baby. Raiding Kara in WoW. Backstory, there was this player, Josh Warrior, who had joined our guild. He was, as one can easily deduce, a warrior. He was as terrible can be. Didn't know what a rotation was. Couldn't gear properly. He was only like 11, so we let it slide, but his general inability to learn or even try to learn made his life as a guildmate short. The story, it was near the end of BC, and my druid tank wasn't very geared, relative to endgame, so I would use him to help out new, fresh guilds get through Kara, as I could sleep through any encounter and still maintain aggro and not really worry. I decide to help out this one guild, and who shows up? Josh Warrior. I lolled and continued on. My bear was indestructible. Vent was a fun conversation, everyone was chill and thankful of my help. I don't really remember where we were in the raid, when suddenly Josh Warrior flatly proclaims my dad just had a heart attack, I think he's dead. Progress comes to a stop. Holy shit. Did he need to go help him? Did he want to leave? We'll get a replacement. No, the ambulance is here or my dog is really big. If I go out of my room, he'll definitely get up and attack the paramedics. The most awkward silence ever ensued, and we continued on through a few trash packs. Finally, their guild leader stops the raid, and starts asking Josh how he's doing. Fine. I think he's dead. We can keep going though, I just want some loot. We finished the rest of the raid in near complete silence except for me coordinating the encounters. I've never felt so awkward over Vent. Nobody else uttered a word. Every person from the guild whispered apologies and gave resounding thanks. That was, by far, the most memorable and fucked up raid ever. What the actual fuck? I've been playing WoW for 10 odd years and thought I'd heard some howlers in Raid, but that's just incredible.